I believe what is most important in life is your why, the reason behind what you're doing. It may be small, but I do think it constitutes everything. It is the very foundation of every action that you will be performing, which is why I'm trying to argue that demoralizing incentives tend to create poor practical wisdom. The wrong reasons tend to create the wrong decisions. Now let's break it down. What is practical wisdom? Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, once discussed this topic, but let me put it this way. Everyone in the world understands what is right and what is wrong. They have a basic concept of morality. But when it comes to practice, suddenly everything changes. Now this is what practical wisdom is all about. It is the ability to act upon the knowledge of what is right and what is wrong.
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice.
Now let's move on. What are demoralizing incentives? Incentives are motivations. If you do this, I'll give you money. Or if you do that, I'll give you a piece of candy.
Faster, Mr. Pig, faster.
I think it gets demoralizing when the incentives affects the person to stray away from the intended purpose of the activity. Now let's take a look at an example. The profession of a doctor, whose intended purpose is to help people with their illness. However, a doctor who is driven by money will only recommend their patients more costly procedures and more amount of these operations. And on the other hand, a doctor who wants to help others will only recommend the most effective way to do it. When demoralizing incentives like money overwhelms your incentive to help people, it tends to create more harmful consequences. Now, I'm not that naive, and I understand that in this world, we need incentives.
It's a problem of motivation, all right?
However, we cannot rely on them all the time. We can make clever incentives, and we do, but it's never enough. Demoralizing incentives tend to destroy the activity. The activity then loses its meaning and its purpose, and it will only make the person doing it lose focus on the activity and instead become dependent on the incentive. Even in this money-driven society, I still think it's very essential for us to pertain to our morals and practice them. We must not let ourselves be consumed by petty incentives. Instead, we should practice practical wisdom on the daily.